Okay, well, these junction boxes, they are, well, pretty tightly set, the caulking. So, and they will come under quite a bit of strain when I start installing the cables. So, there's no movement, not really a movement. No, I'm just going to start installing the cables. I think that's going to work out fine. We'll see how far we get. See, I am exactly 2 meters tall. That's 6 feet 6 and a bit, almost 6 feet 7. And you know that the distance between your hands when stretched out is exactly the same as your height, right? So I always measure my cable by doing this. 2, 4, 6, and that's roughly okay. Easy. Sometimes, not always. Gaffer tape is just one of the best inventions ever, huh? I once sat in an airplane held together by gaffer tape. I don't know which airline it was. Pretty sure it was one of those airlines where I asked upon checking in, do you have a seat with sufficient leg room for me? Oh sir, you can buy extra leg room. I said, no, I don't need extra leg room, I need sufficient leg room. Yes, sir, you can buy extra leg room. No, I don't want to buy extra leg room because I don't need extra leg room. I just need sufficient leg room to sit. Very few airlines who will actually try to accommodate you these days. Two meter.
I'll grab a chair, let me lay it straight about a topic that's not up for debate. We're talking home, electric's a risky affair. But add some booze and it's a whole new nightmare. Don't wire it tipsy, don't plug it in sloshed. You'll be sapped into next week. Sober hands on the wires, that's the key. Or you'll end up a shocking sight to see. Now Jimmy thought he'd be a DIY king. Few beers in, he had the whole house singing. But his skills took a dive with every sip. And now Jimmy's known as the human light bulb trip. You might think you're Einstein after a few, but those sparks will remind you, you're just you. Electricity and alcohol don't mix unless you fancy a jolt, then by all means fix. So remember friends, as you toast and cheer, keep the sockets clear and the booze well clear.
Okay, so I've got all the connection boxes closed up. I've got terminal connectors everywhere where there are wire ends exposed. Like here, for example, that's a terminal connector. Then here where there's going to be a light fitted. Now I've pulled my cable through, that's laying here. And I think I'm just going to hook it up in the fuse box, in the breaker box, and measure my cables through and see whether the switches work, etc, etc. And then continue on. Okay, I had completely disconnected the power to the board when I stuck those wires in. And I'm good now, they're in. I can flip the switch and yeah, well, hoping for not too many sparks. Okay, that's good. Ah yeah, 230. Okay, I got power here. And that's this switch, okay. It does not really worry me too much which toggle switch activates which lights. I don't have a preference, but it's nice to know. I've got one that's working. Okay, well, turn the power off. Check the other one. Power off. Hey. Oh, that's a bit odd. Power off. Oh, that's a bit odd. One toggle switch needs to go up to be off and the other one down to be off. Yeah. Lekker. That's odd. Yeah. I guess that's the way it is. That's not correct. It's not correct, but does it matter? What do you think? Does it matter? Anyway, they're both turned off now, so but I'm going to flip the breaker before I continue working on this one, obviously. Safety first. But good, this is all working. I'm really pleased. Let me check that one. See, this is the light I'm gonna put on that wall over there. It's a cheapie, it's a plastic light. It was white and I just painted it in some sort of a rusty bronze kind of color. I really do like the design. It's a little bit of a commercial ship style light, but I don't really like it, the fact that it's plastic. It should be bronze or copper or something like that. But yeah, we can always replace it later. And then this is a light that we ordered online, and we're gonna have 3 of those sitting on the ceiling beams on the sides. So I'm going to make arrangements for these. You see the ideal way the cable is going into this light is if I would just drill through a hole through a beam, and then the wire can go in a ducting on this side through the beam into the light instead of via the side. That'll also make it a lot easier for me to close it off all watertight. I mean, it's a bathroom after all. We get a good ventilation, but and all the lights have a ground, so yeah, they're not going to be wet, but better be safe than sorry. I'm just going to make arrangements for these lights and do the wiring up here. See, and this is a good moment to try out the base camp mask. It's dusty here because I can see it in the light of my head torch, but it's not like a full-blown white out as we had before, right? So let me see. This one goes up, and this one in the back. Now let's see how comfy working this will be. Right, so I have closed the junction boxes. I have installed all the wiring, 3 for spotlights. It's not really neatly done. It's temporary because we want to treat the whole ceiling and the beams with Tadalect later. So eventually all the wiring will run into neat conduits. And then I have this light here and a wire here for lights that are going to hang sort of next left and right of the mirror. We're not going to have them on the wall, we're going to have hanging lights. And then I have a wire here, and this is going to be for some ornamental lights hanging above the throne. Let me just check and see if we have power. I think I switched it on. Let me just check all the lights before I start sealing everything up. Alright. Yeah, well, I'm going to make up a batch of render and stick it in a conduit, so making sure that everything stays in place. That's most important now. And then yeah, from here on it's gonna be finishing off the plumbing, which is a day or so, and then putting in the raised floor, 10 centimeters of concrete blocks, and then insulation, and then yeah, rendering everything, and then after rendering, tiling, yeah, and then finishing the cupboard and so. But it's possible that in a week or two I'll have a fully functioning bathroom. But let's make no predictions. I have been wrong in the past. Alright, so all the critical points where the cabling was not really secured. It's an incredibly difficult wall to secure cabling in because it's either bloody hard rock or it is very soft mortar. So I've wedged it in place like in here just to secure it while the render is drying. And by tomorrow the render will be dry enough to provide support for the cabling, and this is good. I'm very pleased about the progress. Yeah, it's all going to look very good once it's fully rendered, this wall. But what a job, what a job. Anyway, what are we gonna do tomorrow? Oh yeah, tomorrow I'm going to have to buy a lot of render and the blocks for the floor. I'm going to give it a good clean up. I still need to sand some in the shower stall where it was really rough, too rough to render on. And I'm working on the plumbing. Still need to draw a freshwater line to the laundry machine. A discharge pipe obviously from the laundry machine. Oh, and a discharge pipe and supply to the vanity that's going to be here behind me. Plenty to do. I don't have to be bored at any time soon. Right, that's it for now, people. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for liking, for subscribing, for commenting, for sharing. Very important to share my videos, that as many people as possible can see them. Big thank you to the people below. There's one name missing, that's Tony. Tony doesn't want to be mentioned because Tony is a very humble person. Thank you very much, all you guys here. And Tony, thank you. If you want to help me, if you want to support the channel, if you want to keep us alive, then well, you could buy me a cup of coffee as usual. Thank you very much, and see you next time very soon. Bye now.